Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. I know it's been an extremely long time since I posted a video. I'm hoping to give you guys an update video soon on what's going on with the channel. In a nutshell, I've had to prioritize some things in life that's kind of put YouTube on hold for a little bit. I don't want to get too deep into it because today is about Lester. It's about Les, aka Super King, aka the man, the myth, the legend. We are going to be taking apart his transmission out of his Integra. But before I start digging into this transmission, let's hear from Les himself about what symptoms and issues he was having with the transmission prior to me taking delivery of it.
What's going on? I'm super excited to have my good friend BV actually working on my transmission, so this is going to be a quick little intro. The story is this transmission he's working on is out of my 95 Integra. I believe it's a 97 transmission from a GSR. Has the wavetrac LSD in it, and other than that, it was just pretty much unopened. I raced with it. Let's see here, this Grid Life Time Attack over Grid Life 2018 and 2019, and other than that, it's just been just a track day weapon. I was at Gingerman when this happened. I think it was like 2023 is the GPS track time 2-day event, so it was all the track time he pretty much wanted, and I was not skimping out on any track time because you always need more practice, right? Always more seat time. With that said, you guys will see in this video. Coming into turn 3 at Gingerman, and it pops out of gear. Tries, but it looks like it's a little wet outside, so it's probably the first day of the event, and I got quite a bit ahead of me, so I'm just doing just a little bit of siding lap. That's a siding lap, right? At 9,000 RPM. Turning in, and just go do my normal little lift there, and looks like it pops out again, and the front end just unloads again. But you hear me saying, come on, come on. As you'll see here, this next clip, I'm going down the back stretch here. You can see my top speed's pretty low because it has some internal damage there. Go for my braking zone. I can get it just kind of squeeze in there a little bit, but I'm holding it in the gear because we adapt, improvise, and overcome. Giving a point to this guy here. Looks like some sort of K-Series Civic. Yeah, whatever. So coming in here, try to go for my braking zone. Can't get into gear, grinds itself out. Second gear and counter steer back to third. So as you'll see here, it's just you'll hear me swear some more. Yeah, just can't do it, man. But yeah, the thing is definitely has some terminal damage and lowering my speeds. You can hear the grinding actually, like just the main bearings and stuff grinding. So really happy Brian's gonna take this apart for me. So heck yeah.
Well, you heard it from Les himself. It sounds like third gear is popping out when he's on track. Also sounds like he may be having a little bit of a hard time getting to third to fourth gear. Kind of a slew of things going on here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start taking this thing apart, and let's figure out what's going on with it. Okay, I have the transmission housing separated and removed from the clutch housing. Sometimes it's a battle to get the retaining ring to release the countershaft, but this actually went pretty smoothly. Immediately, I start to notice some things that are off. One of the diff bearings doesn't sound the greatest. The input shaft bearing on the transmission housing side also doesn't sound the greatest. Arguably, one of the best areas to start your inspection is at the magnet. This will really tell you the true story of what's going on with the transmission. As I inspect the magnet, I can see chunks of material stuck to it, and as I'm pulling these pieces of metal off, I'm noticing that they look strikingly similar to the cages that retain the ball bearings inside of a bearing unit. The only place I can imagine this material coming from is the input shaft bearing on the clutch housing side. As I'm pulling the magnet off, you'll notice that there's a ton of sludge built up on the magnet, which is actually tiny metal particles mixed with the transmission fluid. Very small amounts of this can be considered normal, but this stuff is pretty coarse and it's pretty excessive as well. As we look at all these metal pieces, we can definitely say that the magnet did its job. I've gotten to the point where I can lift out the gear set along with the shift forks. It's a very straightforward process, but that wasn't the case this time around. After a short ride on the struggle bus, I inspected the gear set closer and found the issue. The input shaft bearing on the clutch housing did in fact fail, and the internals of the bearing were all over the place. After all the abuse on track, the input shaft was stuck to the inner race of the bearing. Now that the diff is out, we can see that the condition of the bearing on the other side is also not doing so well. As you can hear, not doing so good. Also, if you look at the bearing, there's evidence of damage from installation error on the cover of the seal bearing. I can't think of anything else that would damage this area during normal operation. If we flip the diff over, you'll see similar damage on the other bearing as well. Before we move on to the gear set, let's take a look at the shift forks. The 1 to 2 shift fork still looks pretty good, not much wear on the pads. However, when we look at the 3 to 4 shift fork, we can see that there's significant wear on this fork. Lastly, 5th gear and reverse shift fork is probably in the best condition out of the 3. As we begin our inspection with the main shaft, by now I've realized how difficult it is to point out the problem areas. Zooming in on the small features of the components is really difficult to do, so I resorted to taking photos so that we can examine them together. Here's a picture of the main shaft, and what I'm really focusing on is 3rd and 4th gear, since we know these are the problem areas for less. As we look closer at 3rd gear, you can see how the dog teeth on the gear have been beaten up and rounded off by the 3/4 sleeve. When you hear the sound of gears grinding, it isn't the actual gears themselves. The sound is generated by the inner meshing teeth of the sleeve on the dog teeth of the gear. This is clear evidence of Less's difficulties in shifting into 3rd, however, 3rd gear's synchro teeth aren't the worst I've seen. As I inspect 4th gear, it's pretty obvious that the dog teeth on this gear have also been beaten up quite a bit by the 3/4 sleeve. To be honest, it looks even worse than 3rd gear, and as we look into the synchro itself, it's also in pretty bad shape. It's safe to say that if 3rd and 4th gear's dog teeth look that bad, The 3/4 sleeve itself is most likely pretty wrecked on the inner diameter as well. Moving on to 5th gear, I noticed that the dog teeth on this gear has a bit of wear as well. Definitely not as bad as 3rd and 4th gear, but it's worth noting. When removing the 5th gear reverse sleeve, I found some noticeable burrs on the inner teeth as well. We should be able to get away with clearing some of this up with the Dremel. It's also worth noting that the tapered cone ring for the reverse synchro developed a significant amount of heat in it, and the ring brake thrust washer at the very end withstood some damage as well. It should be flat, but it's now more cone shaped. The condition of everything on the countershaft is decent and shouldn't require much attention. The main shaft took the brunt of it, and the components we see issues with are all victims of a failed input shaft bearing. The combination of axial and radial play of the main shaft from the failed bearing was the root cause of the transmission popping out of gear and not wanting to engage a gear. The main shaft was basically wobbling around and unable to spin along its true axis. This wreaked havoc on the components we just inspected, and luckily the countershaft didn't take much damage. Well, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. As you guys saw, it was kind of a pain in the butt to take this transmission apart, but I really do enjoy the transmission work. It's kind of therapeutic for me. From here, I'm just going to put a shopping list together so Les can get his hands on some parts. And once everything comes in, I'll probably end up making another video of assembling the transmission together. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to stay up to date with the channel, which honestly isn't too active right now, again, we'll get into it in another video here, but feel free to subscribe to the channel and follow along. We do have some track days and some champ car races coming up for this year in 2025. If you would like to, share the video because it definitely helps out the channel. Till next time, stay safe, stay smooth. I'll see you guys in the next video.